Hello, I'm Bernard Norcott-Mahany, and for April of 2024, National Poetry Month of 2024, I am reading each day a poem by Seamus Heaney. Seamus Heaney was a Nobel laureate for literature, and he has passed away, but his poems, of course, live on, and I'll be reading from a selection of poems called 100 Poems, which are, I won't be reading 100 poems, I'll be reading 30 poems, but I'll be reading from that collection. So I urge you to go out and get some Seamus Heaney and to read poems aloud yourself. Poetry is meant to be heard. There are some poems that don't fit that rule. There are poems that I think cannot actually be read aloud. E. Cummings' Grasshopper comes to mind, but that are meant as a visual thing, but for the most part, poems are meant to be heard. The sound of the poems actually matters, and if you read enough poetry aloud, it gets to be a bit easier, and I think you get more of the meaning out of it by hearing it in your head. So I urge you to do that. So today's poem, we're going to do a poem of Heaney's called Follower. Follower. My father worked with a horseplow. His shoulders globed like a full sail strung between the shafts and the furrow. The horses strained at his clicking tongue. An expert. He would set the wing and fit the bright steel-pointed sock. The sod rolled over without breaking. At the head rig, with a single pluck of reins, the sweating team turned round and back into the land. His eye narrowed and angled at the ground, mapping the furrow exactly. I stumbled in his hobnail wake, fell sometimes on the polished sod. Sometimes he rode me on his back, dipping and rising to his plod. I wanted to grow up and plow, to close one eye, stiffen my arm. All I ever did was follow in his broad shadow round the farm. I was the nuisance, tripping, failing, yapping always. But today, it is my father who keeps stumbling behind me and will not go away. So that was Follower by Seamus Heaney.